Men, do you ever feel like you just can't get ahead? Like you're misunderstood? Like you have no one to talk to that truly hears you?
And women, are you often frustrated, hurt, and saddened in your relationships with the men in your life?
What if there were a community of like-minded men going through the same challenges that would support, hear, and understand what you're going through?
Working together in unison to create understanding, intimacy, and strong connections. That's the Way of the Illuminated Warrior.
Way of the Illuminated Warrior talk show is a forum of candid conversations for men and women about men. Heard every Thursday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. Being a man today is not always easy. Until now.
Welcome, my brother, boy, super. Happy New Year. It's wonderful to be back. We have not connected in a while, so welcome to another adventure of the Way of the Illuminated Warrior talk show, and we are actually in 2022, man. Last year definitely was a trip, was it not?
Yes, it was. It was definitely something to behold, something to see and experience. You know, I definitely had some good times, and then you just see socially how things are really just changing, you know. But change not always bad. Welcome it sometimes.
Yeah. I always say change is inevitable and growth is optional. So what were some of the biggest things that you saw change?
Well, I watched the social engineering of the whole the national decisions that are being made. I like watching that. So the whole mandate, wanting to get the vaccine in everybody, I was seeing how that in my community had people acting, you know, people really looking like you are dirty and infected if you don't have that vaccine. And then I'm realizing the truth of the matter is people with the vaccine can contract it and spread it still. So that was one thing, you know, just seeing how people act about that, you know, creating an ostracize against one another. But other than that, I wasn't expecting a lot for Christmas, but I got a bike and a new laptop. So
woo, right on.
Yeah.
So Santa was good to you this year, huh?
Yeah, he was pretty fair this time. Thank you.
It's interesting. I just want to comment about what you said. It's interesting with the with the topic and issue of the vaccination, and it really since the beginning, the way I have seen it is very much like The Matrix, which I just watched the new movie Matrix Resurrections. I had high hopes. Was a little disappointed, but that's a whole other story. But if you know what The Matrix is all about, it seems like this whole topic and really kind of like what's been going on in the social structure of our country and even the world really is similar to The Matrix, man. Have you taken the red pill or the blue pill, and The Matrix to me is a lot about separation and division of everything, of social classes, of belief systems, of governing, and it seems like really that's kind of what we're dealing with today. And some people have taken the red pill, some people have taken the blue pill. Some people believe like, well, if you don't do this, then you're bad and evil. If you don't take this vaccination, for instance, as you were saying, then you're such and such. And the division that's come with it to me is like the biggest issue that's come out of it. It's like, as a nation, you let me know if you agree with this. We seem to do the best when we band together against a unified cause. And, when the whole COVID thing hit, there was an intention to, make it a unified thing that we're going to fight against this, but that's anything but what has happened. And there's such division of beliefs and how to support, the bigger picture and support each other. It's kind of sad, would you agree on that?
Yeah, it is kind of sad. It's a lot of separation, and you can blame it on Trump in a sense, but it was something that was bubbling and waiting to spew up anyway. Because everybody wants their freedoms at the same time. And at some point it becomes a little bit of infringement. It becomes a little you can step on somebody's toes and not even know why or how you're doing it if you just selfishly operate, and that's what we're doing right now. I could tell you about a couple of instances I done had with some women. I'm still out here a bachelor, and oh man, some point of views you just can't imagine. I get it's a lot of hurt out there, and like the title of our show, man, it's a new year. Have no fear. Don't stop trying just because you might get shot down. But again, the selfishness out there and the narcissist, one-track mind, that's what's creating this separation right now. The love is dwindling, just authentic people, everybody better than everybody. I'm like, how is everyone better than everyone? Where does that leave the best if everybody's better than everybody? So as a spectator, I just be sitting back observing, and I just have a good time. And sometimes I do some critical thinking because you got to know if it exists, there's a purpose or reason for it existing or it happening, So yeah, that 20, you know what I say? 2020 was our clear vision year. 2021 was our reflection year. And here we are, 22. It's the master number. So what you gonna do? Yeah.
I like that, bro. I like that. Yeah, and I'm having the same experiences as well. Being the witness and seeing what's going on out there in the world. It does concern me a lot that, the biggest issue is our social lives of not really being a collective. And as you said, it's me, me, me. Everybody's either got that narcissistic mindset or just really just staying in their own little bubble. And, that's not a really healthy way for the individual, for society. And I was just having this conversation on one of our men's circle talks the other night that if you think about how life used to be in the tribal way, it was just so much healthier because if you look at today, like how many people by choice are living with multi-generations in their family. When I say by choice, not because they can't afford to, but because they're modeling what used to be the tribal way of you might have 2 or 3 or even sometimes even 4 generations in the same household where, aunties and grandmas would be taking care of the younger ones where, the mom's dad, they'd be going out to work, but there was a support system there, not just, physically, but also emotionally and spiritually. And it was a cohesive unit. That's why it was, considered like a tribal way that everybody banded together. And, it wasn't always so easy to be under the same roof, but, you work that stuff out. And now, today, we're just like, so individualistic, and we don't really even choose to have that support system unless, again, well, I can't afford to leave my mom's house, so I'm going to stay here and live with her, my mom and dad, and that kind of thing, and I don't think it's really serving the greater good to have this separation and not enjoying and being in that support way with family and neighbors and villages. The saying, it takes a village, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's definitely not healthy. The separation, especially when the separation create isolation, and if you in isolation and you're always right, then I know it's gonna turn into something bad. It can't be always right. So I definitely feel what you're saying on narcissism. A little bit about what you started out with that matrix. It was a pretty interesting spin on it. They put a whole nother spin on what we knew to be the program. So that was interesting. I agree with you. I wasn't that impressed, but it did come with a brand new paradigm. And that right there is one thing we have to understand. When these paradigms are introduced, you have to be optimistic and say, wait a minute. maybe this is a new angle that's something I have to be aware of, you know, because right now we're dealing with just stay cognitive, you know, being able to respond and understand thank God our body parts, all of our parts are still moving, you know, and the fact that there is a system out there that wants to control your mind and beyond that, they want to control your body. They want you to just do it as they say. There's always a master slave system. And, you know, when I say that, I'm just saying system, not even talking about no African American history. But there's just a master slave system always at work out there. And we can't be scared to go against it. We must have the courage to study and understand it, you know. But it was a beautiful thing because a little piece of what I got out of the movie was the male-female relationship was necessary. You know, that's how the spark happened. And initially, that's how you create another being, a child, is a man and a woman. And they were showing the importance of his code by using Trinity. So he needed her. And that's a beautiful thing on one level, on a little small level of decoding the movie. Also, you know, the paradigm that they gave us, him being in the layered, this layers of what was going on, the conscious layer of him seeing the whole first three movies as a video game. That was interesting because we do know that there's supercomputers. There's also this heavy analytics on how people play video games. And they almost can predict how one thinks now. You know, with the video games, Disney has a big time study in the theaters now. They're using theaters to watch your facial expressions as you watching movies. So this cerebral study of human behavior is intense, deeper than we can imagine. I mean, I'm just skimming across the surface of it when I'm talking, but they really understand the way we move. Yeah, we just gotta stay strong, live courageous, and be dangerous. You know, that's what I say.
I feel that, man. I feel that. Yeah. Well, hearing you talk about the Matrix, yeah, it reminded me also how in this one they had the machines actually working in conjunction with the humans, which obviously before you know, the attack on Zion and all was very different. It was the machines versus the humans, and you know, and even like what you're saying about you know, scanning facial expressions in movie theaters and all. It gets down to that whole AI aspect where a lot of these huge tech companies, including, you know, Google and, you know, Alphabet and, you know, Blue Origin, all those different studies and companies, they are planning on going towards like a hybrid, really, that will be human hybrids, part, you know, implants at some point, you know, with, you know, a lot more than just chips and all. And which is a kind of wild concept, but I don't see that being so far-fetched. You know, but to what extent, to what purpose, you know, are we going to lose that humanistic aspect to it? And is it really, are they doing this to really enhance humanity, or are they doing it for consumerism and marketing? Is always a thought in the back of my head. So, you know, I just feel like as an individual that's, you know, awake and aware, like I feel it's like my mission and responsibility to put out obviously the good vibes and to do whatever I can to not live in that fear and to promote good relationships and equanimity and like brotherhood and supporting each other. And that's, you know, really what it's all about, because otherwise we lose that humanistic aspect, and it's just all about, like you said, like paying taxes and living in fear, waiting for the man to come. And that's a mindset that I choose not to even look at, man. Yeah. We'll be right back after this. Hey everyone, Waska here. I want to wish everyone listening a happy and healthy new year and to let you know about a new Rites of Passage program that's being offered for a limited time for a select few men who are ready, willing, and able to commit to this program and once and for all manifest the changes, growth, and life that you've been desiring and dreaming about. If not now, then when? If you're not living a life of prosperity, joy, healthy relationships, and optimal well-being, my question to you is, why not? Email me today at waska@illuminatedwarrior.com to apply for enrollment and see if this is the right program for you. You have nothing to lose and so much to gain. See you on the other side.
It definitely puts that spirit in you where you like always questioning what's gonna be the outcome. I mean, you gotta have some common sense and some good sense, but what we're speaking on kind of embeds a certain level of doubt, and we trying to spread that love frequency, and we trying to be secure, and we want to have that positivity where doubt and fear don't control our decisions. That's why I say be courageous.
Yeah.
It gets sad because I can hear back to our pandemic, how people be like, "Oh no, I can't do that. Oh no, is that don't you know we in a pandemic still?" And I'll be like, "Look, through all the news and all the news coverage, you gotta wear your mask, you gotta keep your hands washed, and you gotta know that at some point you're probably gonna catch it anyway. So what you need to do is start doing your research and be diligent about having your immune system up so that you can knock it down. And that's the only that's the cure, man. Just get your immunity up. Because one thing about it, we talking about this futuristic matrix. I can remember how watching Star Trek, there was something called the Borg. And that was like an episode or whatnot where they operated in unison, and it sounds like a good idea for everybody to be the same or move in one march to one tune. But we need our individuality. But to the point of all this new technology is just so cutting edge. Star Trek takes place 300 years later. If we're in 2022, imagine 2322. That's where Star Trek takes place, man. And they got all this technology and whatnot. The human race actually made it up and out of the planet Earth, I guess, or whatnot. But the direction we're going in is a cyborg style. We're going to have biology mixed with technology. Some people, conspiracy theorists, say that the vaccine has nanotechnology in it so that it could be able to repair your cells with some electrical pulse operating these small machines or something in your blood. So if that's true, that we're already on the verge of becoming part machine. I don't know if becoming part machine is the evolutionary jump that we need. We do know that our environment is acting different with us, and survival with all the, we just don't eat as much organic foods that you may think we do. If we're surviving off all synthetic, would this robotic portion of our biology help us get through when we, just eating trash? We could just eat some trash and we could still survive, and we always tapped into online because our minds are in the internet and this and that. It's gonna raise a whole new way of existence that I personally don't want to be in. But when it comes, it ain't nothing to run from. I'm just letting my imagination go on this one, huh?
I like it, man. I like it. Yeah, very interesting. I was always really into Star Trek, and the Borg, another civilization. I always appreciated the one aspect that they were a collective consciousness. So that was I guess their big strength, but also how they operated. They were supposed to be an evolved species, and I forget. I think it might have been Captain Picard, or one of them actually got sucked into being, I think it was him, got sucked into being a Borg. They put some kind of technology on his head and his brain and all, so he could not think individualistically anymore, and he was part of the collective. And that was an interesting concept. But if I remember correctly, there was no emotional aspect to it. It was all kind of more like Spock, like more logical and more utilizing like algorithms of what would be the best thing for the collective consciousness. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. So yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like it's going that way, but for now anyway, we still have our individual minds, and we can still be autonomous. I think we're seeing less and less autonomy and more herd mentality or lemur mentality. Not to diss anybody, but I really feel like we really need to stand strong and be dangerous, as you say, and make those autonomous decisions. Like, hey, what is it? What's in my best and highest, but not just for me, but what's in the best and highest for the collective. Like I've spoken about this before, the indigenous way of being is to ensure the next 7 generations. And that's a concept that we don't see other than in, Native American culture. Like we're not living right now as a collective, like ensuring even this generation or the next generation, let alone 7 generations. And I just love that way of being, ensuring the next 7 generations, because in that case we would be thinking about how it affects our kids and our grandkids, and obviously on and on and on, and our decisions would be very, very different. So well, we got some messages, my brother. Let's play those and see what our audience has to say and share here.
What I think is absolutely insane is that Star Trek predicted flip phones. You got to wonder if that's art imitating life or life imitating art.
Yeah, flip phones. Well, if you look back at the James Bond movies, I mean, he was using really smartphones a decade ago, where they had video on them and they were communicating, and all these gadgets. It's kind of said that if we put out any ideas or concepts, that the universe takes that in and it's going to be born. So even like your ideas and stuff, once you put it out there, it's out there, and it's just a matter of time before it's manifest by someone or something. So if you're familiar with like Industrial Light and Magic, the effects company, George Lucas's effects company that did Star Wars and all, and a lot of other movies, you'd have Spielberg and other directors working with them as well, including Lucas, of course. And he would come up with ideas and concepts, and their attitude, this elite team of creative artists and computer generated artists, they would say, don't worry about what your idea is. If you could imagine it, we could create it. And they did. And that's kind of like, I think, what the the evolution of the world is really. If we could imagine it, there's nothing the human mind can't create and manifest, because it's pretty much said that we use maybe 20% of our brains, which is kind of sad. But then again, if you look at the way the world is to a degree, it makes sense that we're only using 20% of our intelligence in our brain, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I just feel so. Hey, I just got illuminated just now. I can see the light bulb in my head right now, because it's the truth. It is actually the truth, man. When you can think of it and you can make that concept, it can be brought into this realm of 3D existence. You can. I mean, whatever you're thinking, even if you can't put it right there as a solid piece of mass right there in front of you, you can definitely computer generate it, and then you can see it. Once you see it, you can believe it, right? So we in a special time, man. If y'all out there taking them mushrooms or smoking that good dope, y'all better guard your minds, man, because this imagination thing is crazy, especially when we start getting into this virtual reality stuff, because the technology is not slowing down, it's speeding up. And I'm already seeing it. But actually touching and being a part of it, engaging in, you like the word autonomous. What, they got the technology where that car gonna drive you. I seen an 18-wheeler, a big rig, park itself. And then the guy just got up out the back, fresh out of the bed, the truck parked itself. And I say, well, what in the world is cars driving itself out here. So yeah, we on the cuffs on some brand new stuff, and I'm about to start asking people, what is the purpose of life? Not life, but what is the humanity's purpose now? We so far into luxury and things working for us. We so far ahead in everything being made easy. So what is your purpose now, humanoid? I mean, yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing now? So that's what I think that a celestial or extraterrestrial would look at us and say. They'll be like, wow, these creatures started out perfect, but now they're so fearful, they rather jack themselves into this mainframe and live consciously live instead of physically live. And that matrix, it woke me up on some different levels. I like how you brought up the part about the celestial machine, which is the one that came through and helped them, because there are some machines in the movie that was like, oh, this is going this way. Well, now that it's so advanced and conscious or whatever, some machines have a problem with straight dominance over master over slave. So yeah, some machines took the human side because the dilemma is the humans became so dependent and slothful. They weren't producing the life energy to keep the machine running. So they were dying off. So now you dealing with the machines was made perfect for your conscious living. You so worthless, the machine can't run off of your human energy no more. So now they had a whole new dilemma. I gotta watch that again though, man, so I can really break down what I'm trying to say, because I seen some things and I was like, oh wow, that's a point of view. Yeah, I see that. But the first go round, you don't catch everything. But,
good point, man. Good point. I'm gonna have to watch it again, also, man. I because you're bringing up some things that I didn't necessarily see, and a lot of times there's hidden meanings, and yes, you're right, man. I do love the word autonomous, because to me, that's the way I raised my sons, to be autonomous, and to me, autonomy is being free to make your own decisions without being influenced by like your peers or government or corporations, and just really living in a way that you have that kind of self-mastery kind of notion, that you're not influenced by others. You live freely, man, I guess is the best way for me to say it.
I feel like autonomy kind of relates to autopilot as well. But again, yeah, you're saying making decisions. Yeah. I see it the same way you see it in the sense too.
Yeah, not having that influence or things being decided for you. So speaking of movies, I don't know if you got a chance to see the movie that I worked on at the beginning of the year. It's on Netflix, called Don't Look Up. It's supposed to be a lot of different social statements between climate issues and the government and all the things that are going on. Did you get a chance to see it or no?
Wait a minute, Waska, you worked on that?
Yeah, I was up in Boston for January and February. We talk about the men's work and stuff. But yeah, my career has been in television production for over 3 decades. So yeah, I was a cameraman on that, and they also it's funny, they gave me a SAG card, and they asked me if I would be a quote unquote background actor as a cameraman. So there's a couple scenes in there where you see my fro.
I gotta look for you. I did see it. To answer your question, I saw it. I liked it. For one, Leonardo DiCaprio is my favorite, what I call white boy actor. So I love that. It did bring up a lot of social stuff, and it really woke my mind up to, wow, this would be how rich would treat poor in the case of extinction level event. They'll be like, well, we gonna tell y'all if we gonna save y'all or not, and then it'll be, once again, you gotta bow down and beg or become slave to the overlord.
Well, isn't that the way it is now? It's not that they would. Aren't they doing that right now?
Definitely creating that type of system. And yeah, they're doing it now. It baffled me to see that one guy be like, oh no, don't break it up. We'll break it up, and we'll use all those super valuable minerals. Yeah.
Right.
I was like, and then the one lady, the president, she just went with it. And I'm saying to myself, golly, look how the elites would really play with your life, man.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah. There was a
and
lot
that's
of
the
truth
whole
in that
thing.
and metaphor in there that I thought was really, really accurate. And yeah, I watched it the second time. The first time I didn't really love it because working on it, I hadn't seen the script, so it seemed very campy, and I wasn't even sure there was any social statements in there. But second time I watched it, I liked it a little bit better. I don't consider it to be a massive blockbuster movie for the the talent that was in it, and they spent like $333 million on it. But I think there's good social statements in there, and they do. It's considered a dark comedy, so. And it's kind
Yeah,
of hard to pull that off with being funny and also getting the statements across. But I do think there's some good social statements in there. Yeah.
definitely
Yeah, that
was.
dude. So that dude that you were speaking about, he represented like Bash Mobile, which obviously it's the massive corporate interest, and they let him
Yeah,
into the Oval Office because he was a whatever Jonah Hill called him. He's like a golden donator or whatever. So it's just so much like what's going on now. Hey, if you're a powerful money-giving lobbyist, then you're going to have some say in what the decision-making process is of this country, and that's sad but true, man. Sad but true. So we're talking about 2022. What, if anything, man, is your New Year's resolution? Because I know a lot of people like to do that whole New Year's resolution spiel. I'm not big on that myself. I just like to resolve throughout the whole year. But is that something that you do?
yeah. At this point, I am just resolving throughout the year. I was one of those. Oh, I'm gonna get it right on the first, but nah, it's nah. I'm just not built for it like that. So I gotta take my time. I just give that goal and peck at it. So 2022, again, I'm gonna be on some mastery. And what I mean by that is first and foremost, get that immune system right. I actually deal with high sugar. So I have to, watch what I eat. I'm gonna be watching extra close now because my food gotta be my medicine. Another thing, I'm gonna tap into my drawing skills. As a sketchbook artist, we gotta level it up, man. It's time to take it up a notch. I've done storyboarding, I've done character design, I've done script writing, but I have not took it to that next level. So it's about that time. At 38 years old, I think I need to be a major factor out here on this planet. So, yeah, that's my thing. Make an impact this year, baby.
Yeah, I think you already are, brother. And 38, man, there's that 11. It's a beautiful thing. And as you said, 22, it's another master number. It's two 11s. So,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
powerful stuff.
It is. Wow. Yep. Numbers, the language of the universe. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sign symbols and synchronicities. Absolutely. Yeah. So
Mhm.
I sat with, what do I want to do? Because like I said, I'm not a huge, like one resolution for the year. So
Yeah.
I manifest throughout the year because I think it's hard when people just put that kind of pressure on themselves. You're going to do one thing, and you do it like on, Christmas or whatever, right before the new year. And then all this pressure to like, okay, this is what I got to do. This is what I got to do. And I think it makes a lot more sense to just sit and whatever you do, whether it's meditation or exercise, yoga, just have a clarity of mind and then, come up with the things that make sense, that are healthful, like what you're saying with immunity, like COVID or no COVID, man. I mean, it's so important for us all to have
Yeah.
strong immune systems and not, be battling, high A1Cs and diabetes and obesity and all the things that are running rampant in this country. And they talk about comorbidity being the biggest problem with COVID. And it's true. If like you were
Mm,
saying, also our immune systems are strong, we're going to battle any kind of illness, including COVID, Delta, Omicron, whatever. It's going to be a lot less impactful. And we're not going to need to be drugging up as much as necessary to battle things that we could. Our bodies our immune systems are meant to do that. So if we allow them
yeah.
to do that by being healthy, we're going to be in a much better state of affairs.
Definitely. Man, one thing about it, our bodies possess everything we need to live. And it's up to you to find a way to keep it strong. We are living Wolverines. I believe in our healing factor. especially on the, we just talking immunity system. When you talking about growing another limb or nothing, but especially with immunity, I believe that we really can alter and cure ourselves. If you on that highest vibration. I'm like I said, I'm dealing with that high sugar. Sometimes those nerves in your feet get to acting up, and you be like, oh. But yeah, man, back to what you were saying about putting pressure on yourself. We gotta let it flow, because one thing about being disappointed makes you a quitter sometimes. So don't. I ain't saying lower your expectation. I'm saying work on it and let it flow. Put that skill and everything has a repetitiveness to it, to where you're working on being better. So just let it be that. First round you was all right. Second round you was slacking. Third round, step it up. That's what I'm gonna say about resolutions anyway.
Yeah, good point, man. Good point. And I think it's really important, which I tell a lot of the brothers in our circles, like it's really important not to beat yourself up and to go easy on yourself, because a lot of times we're really hard on ourselves. And if you think about it, it's so much easier to support somebody else and cut somebody else slack. But a lot of times we don't do that for ourselves. So I think that's an important point to remember. And I'm just going to share like my vision for 2022. Those who've heard me talk about the Illuminated Warrior program in the past, in 2011, I started the Way of the Illuminated Warrior. I was living in New York on Long Island, and we used to meet in person once a month for 9 months, and that was been really helpful for me, my sons, and really I can't even tell you how many guys that joined us of different ages. And so anyway, my vision for 2022 is really kind of like to turn it up to 11, man. I have a vision to offer a new program, another Rites of Passage program, and do it virtually, and then a culmination will be an initiation and a celebration here in Asheville. And, I'm working on that diligently. I'm going to be putting that out really, really soon for an intimate group of guys who are really committed. And I do want to put out kudos to the guys who have done the work, because there's been tremendous change and transformation. But a lot of times, guys get to a point where they feel like, okay, well, I know enough, I had enough, either that or these challenges are way too tough and screw it, man, I'm not doing this anymore. And that's, that's where the breakthrough happens, man, when we start breaking down. So I really encourage guys to do the work and to join like a men's circle or a men's group, because it's so important. Like we're doing here also, just offering opportunity to share ideas and thoughts and stories for our brothers, to connect and elevate. And that's really what it's all about. So anyway, that's my resolution, man. I'll be putting that out soon. And I look forward to working with whatever guys are into showing up. Right on.
Yeah, that sounds great. Heck yeah. You use the word intimate. I almost got a little scared, but I know what you're saying. But we got to keep our hearts open so that we can heal it. You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely not about, I just want to say it's not about sexuality. I already know how you talking mental and spiritual with what you trying to do. And that's wonderful, man. That is wonderful. Because a lot of people just operate and don't even know why they operate like that. I know guys that act like they really can't go without having sex. I'm like, bro, you turned yourself into a nympho. You ain't got to do that, and then you risking and playing with women like that. It's not healthy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of women, again, back to what we started the show, I learned there's a lot of selfish women out there, and it's due to the experience they had with these fellas.
Absolutely.
We gotta have some love, some love out there. I think Evil Squid want to come back in again.
Evil Squid, let's see what you got, bro.
My resolution is to be a better person than I was last year, and just be more compassionate and understanding, and to try to have more empathy. And I want to become more emotionally mature, and I want to be the type of person that someone can attack me, and I'm secure enough in myself that I can just show love, and I don't have to retaliate and feel like lesser of a man because of that. That's my resolution.
That's a
Oh,
beautiful
yeah.
resolution.
Also, I have
bro.
like mental health issues with like schizophrenia and stuff. So just trying to manage those symptoms a little bit better. That's also something that's a big priority to me, and to try to improve my relationships with the people I care about. Yeah, those are all my goals. I won't really call them resolutions, more just like a personal goals.
Yeah, that's beautiful, bro. That's being responsible and being proactive. So, kudos to you and power to you, man. Stand strong and as my brother here says, be courageous. Yeah.
Need a whole year change to change yourself.
Yeah, I like that, man. That's why I like the program that I'm offering, that I offered. It's a 9-month program, and 9 in numerology, and in the tradition I was raised in, the Shishindi tradition is completion, man. And you can't expect to change and have real lasting change in like one phone call, one session, one resolution. So yeah,
Definitely.
feel you on that.
I've been dealing with a lot of stress, a lot of pain. I'm dealing with a dying family member right now, who's actually in the hospital right now with tubes down her throat on morphine. So I just want to learn how to deal with my life better, deal with life on life's terms, and drink a little less, because I've been so stressed out, man. I've been just drinking all the time. That's not no good for me. And in running from something, you're so dependent on your escape, but really you just need to sit there and fight it out like a man.
Well, I really want to just say, man, I appreciate you sharing that, brother. And that takes courage to just own that and talk about it and put it out there, and facing your fears and facing your demons and not burying it with alcohol or drugs, whatever else is very very courageous. So power to you, man. And follow myself, follow Boy Super. We could connect, and I'm certainly open to working with brothers like yourself. That's the work that I do, man. I mean, helping to heal, man. I know, when you're open to doing that, that's the first step, man. The first step is the acknowledgement, and then walking that path.
Yeah, definitely the acknowledgement. And that definitely takes a little, hey, I'm proud of you for looking at yourself. Because one got to look in the mirror and analyze, what am I going through? And take it from me, bro. That alcohol is so good. You be like, oh, y'all stressed, taking a little edge off. And next thing you know, you're on your 5th one. Oh, shoot. So that alcohol be feeling good, and I get it. But trust me, it's not going to help. When you mentioned that you deal with schizophrenia, sometimes I'll be feeling like, oh, am I bipolar? Because sometimes I go to snapping and people looking at me like, well, what's wrong with you? And then, honestly, man, we hadn't talked about this, but there are people around you that are handlers. They just know how to handle you. Like, oh, he Christian. Let's just say, well, the Lord love you, and keep it moving. Nobody want to really get into what they can really tell you or shed some light on what you're going through. And I got some family members that let me live my whole life without letting me know certain things about our family. I'm gonna just give you the bare basic one, which is diabetes. Y'all should have been told me that we had that running throughout our whole family. I would have been ready and asking people, learning how to handle it. Well, I'm learning on my own now. So thanks a lot. But that's just a little one. I got all kind of weirdo things within our family, people that have been to prison for all kind of stuff. And all right, the drugs don't help. That's what I want to say.
That's a good point, brother. That's a good point. And I appreciate you sharing that as well. And, again, getting back to that word autonomy, that's where the autonomy comes in, man, because I was a slave, so to speak, to my family as well. I grew up in an alcoholic family, and there was mental health issues, so, I mean, we get sucked into that because we don't know any better. But that's where self-mastery, autonomy, doing the work comes in, to just get to know who you are and not kowtow and feel like you even need to have any other substances. Hey, you want to have a drink, you want to smoke a doob, whatever. That's wonderful if you're doing it just for recreation and pleasure and just whatever, relax. But when you're doing it to hide and get away and mask and not face reality, then it becomes a huge issue. So we did one part of the program that I do. It's like, what's your sugar? I call it What's Your Sugar. I think we did a show on that also. And by that I mean like what it is that you feel like you're addicted to that is keeping you from facing reality, keeping you from reaching your truest, highest potential and being the you that you were meant to be, you know. And that's, you know, I believe what addiction and overuse of anything, it could be anything, it could be sex, drugs, alcohol, going to the gym, whatever it is, like when you overdo stuff to not face the reality of what is right in front of you, man, that's when it becomes an issue. And, you know, the self-mastery is about not having those addictive urges, man. And it's tough. I'm not belittling it at all. Cause like I said, I grew up in an alcoholic family. I had to check myself and make sure I wasn't, going down that path, cause I thought I was for a while. So it's constant work. And, you know, again, kudos to you, brother David, boy super, and to Evil Squid, man. The first step is acknowledging it, man, and stepping up, and then being willing to take a look in that mirror and do the work and figure out how you could be healthy, happy, whole, and healed, man. That's what it's really all about.
Yeah. Stay prayerful for your family too. The one that you said is fighting for their life.
Yeah, good point. Thanks for bringing that up and bringing that into light. I have a very, very close friend and mentor that actually gave me my spiritual name. Her name's Ocean Fastwell. She's transitioning. She's in hospice right now also. And, you know, it's hardest for us who remain when people cross over. I like to believe anyway they're going to go into the light, go into creator, go into another energy field. Just a suggestion, if it helps you at all, what I do, and I have a white candle burning right now for Oceana, and you know, I'll sit prayerfully in silence and just really connect to her. And I've had that blessing many times when people are passing or close to passing, or even within the 4 days prior or post passing, man. You can connect to them, man, because I do believe, I've experienced this many times, their spirit reaches out, man, and they really can only connect to people who are open to receiving. So, you know, that may be something you want to try, Evil Squid, just to, you know, open yourself up to whatever energy's coming through for, you know, the people who are passing in your life. We'll be right back after this. Hey everyone, Waska here. I want to wish everyone listening a happy and healthy new year, and to let you know about a new Rites of Passage program that's being offered for a limited time for a select few men who are ready, willing, and able to commit to this program and once and for all manifest the changes, growth, and life that you've been desiring and dreaming about. If not now, then when? If you're not living a life of prosperity, joy, healthy relationships, and optimal well-being, my question to you is, why not? Email me today at waska@illuminatedwarrior.com to apply for enrollment and see if this is the right program for you. You have nothing to lose and so much to gain. See you on the other side.
Oh, the booze becomes your best friend, and then your only friend, and then your worst enemy. You know, and it's not so much like wine, like a glass of wine or a beer. It's to me, I'm already starting my day at like a negative level. So I'm already like depressed and sad and anxious. So I'm escaping from that, right? So other people start out with like a normal chemistry in their brain, right? And the mental health, the PTSD, the emotional imbalances, and the alcoholism, it's a lot. It's a lot to go through. And so it's like my thing is like, you know, I'm starting this negative level, so it takes so much more drugs, booze, etc. Than a normal person. So it's like a normal person, they'll drink a glass of wine, they'll feel a little buzz, they'll be happy. Me, I'm like, oh, a glass of wine, one beer, like that's just a tease to me. My New Year's resolution now is to stop cursing as much. Okay, see, you've inspired me.
Wow. Yeah. Well, listen, man, the more alcohol, alcohol is a depressant, and if you're not aware of that. So the more drugs, the more alcohol, whatever it is, it's just masking. And you know, part of my mantra is when I wake up, and I'm not a morning person, but when I wake up in the morning, you know, I say my prayers of gratitude, because honestly, man, there's always something to be grateful for. The fact that you just woke up, man. You know, don't put so much pressure on yourself. And I tell a lot of the bros I work with also, man, stop comparing yourself to other people. So to say like, well, other people are much better off, or other people don't have to, you know, it doesn't matter, man. We're all individuals, and that needs to be recognized and honored and respected. So I invite you to just wake up in the morning, keep it simple, say a prayer of gratitude for what you're blessed for, and just go with the positivity throughout the day. And I know it sounds simple, but it really is profound and powerful. So, it's a good way to start off. We got a couple minutes to wrap up. What have you gleaned from our conversation? What do you want to put out there to our audience, to our brothers, for really turning this 2022 up to 11, as we say?
Man, one more time. 22 is the master builder number. So get out there, and the things you've been good at, become a master at it. I appreciate Evil Squid for coming through, because guess what? You're not the only one came in this year feeling like they need a drink right now. I've seen 5 people die last year, and beautiful thing that you came through and shared some of that with us. And we're gonna give you some direction to go in. I can't solve your problems for you, but I can tell you something good. And Waska, I miss you a little bit. So yeah,
just a little bit, only a little bit,
just
bro.
A little bit, I miss you. Yeah. And that was great. I didn't know you worked on the movie. So, I kind of want to get in your business about that, but we're going to wait till another time for that. I'm going to leave you something to say too, but I just want to say, everybody, just make sure you use your mind and think critically, because there's so many forces that influence you. You just don't know if it's you or not. I hate to sound like a weakling, but believe me, it's forces out there. Like, Bud Light is the beer of the Super Bowl. Mysteriously, I'm drinking a lot of Bud Light instead of Guinness and Coronas and all that. So I just want to say, man, y'all make sure that y'all operating with your own brain and not some other thing. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, bro. With that, man, Boy Super, I appreciate you, brother, and hopefully we're going to keep our show going regularly. Evil Squid, and for the rest of the listeners, thank you for joining in. I'm just pumped up for 2022. As my brother said, it's a master number. Good things coming our way. Keep your eyes open. I'm going to be offering that enrollment in that program soon, which I'm stoked about for all my brothers, any brothers who want to check it out. Boy Super, say your tagline, and then I'll say mine.
Be strong, live courageous, and stay dangerous.
Right on. And as I like to say, until next time we meet, continue to illuminate your path with loving kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Visit illuminatedwarrior.com if you'd like to go deeper and find out more about what's available within the Illuminated Warrior men's transformational community. Tune in next time for more candid conversations for men and women about men on the Way of the Illuminated Warrior talk show every Thursday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. Until next time, illuminate your path with loving kindness.